Hey pranksters, Payne here for the Panic Report. Today we are at going to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, but I want to talk about last night. Last night was my first night ever experiencing Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Orlando. This is just going to be a quick video on my thoughts of the event as a whole. We'll get into more detail about each of the haunts in a different video probably next week sometime. But I really enjoyed it. They have 10 haunts, mazes, and I believe it was 5 scare zones and 2 shows. We did the stay and scream, so we were in the park earlier in the day, and then you're able just to stay in the park. They scan your haunt ticket, and you go into one of, I believe there's like 3 or 4 zones that you can hang out in. And then each of those zones has specific haunts that open early for that zone. And then so you get to move in there. So we were over in the Springfield area, and it was a little confusing in the very beginning. So we started asking questions. Hey, you know, this line says it's for these 2 haunts. Can we do other ones? They said, yeah, just go around the corner here. So then we went around the corner. And there was no line for a haunt. It was just kind of a group of people. So then when they opened up that group to let us start walking, people just started jumping in this random line that had no sign or anything. So everybody else started walking forward more. And then we were asking team members, hey, what's that line for? And nobody knew. Nobody knew anything. So we just kept walking forward. Then eventually we get to another gate, and we were told, no, you got to go all the way back and get in that line, and it's for this one specific haunt. Welcome to Scary. But there's 2 other haunts kind of over in that area, the Wild Grove or Wicked Grove and Puppet Theater. So that's the ones we wanted to go to. Well, those ones don't open early. But most of the team members didn't seem to know that. So then we had to go all the way back and get in line, and now we're further back than we would have been if we would have known where we were going. I guess if you're a local, that's not a big deal, because you can figure all that out because you already know. But for those of us who've never been here before, it would be nice to have signs, or at least make sure your team members know. Also, throughout the night, we did ask questions a couple times here and there. Sorry, that sun's right there, huh? And again, nobody seems to know anything that's not anywhere near them. They only know the one thing that they're doing, and that's it. I know that's to be expected sometimes, but for a big park like this with an event as big as it is, it's a little frustrating. The event as a whole, I really enjoyed it. Most of the haunts were very well crafted. So the craftsmanship, the design, the sets, the props, the effects are all phenomenal. Top notch, probably some of the best that I've ever seen. I wouldn't say that they're better than everything that I've seen, but they're absolutely better than anything that I've seen in Hollywood. I'm sorry, Universal Studios Hollywood has nothing on Universal Studios Florida. So that, huge bonus. Absolutely worth traveling all the way over here for that. The bad or downside, not necessarily bad, but the downside is it's still Universal, so they still use those scare buttons. And I am not a fan, as you guys know, of those scare buttons. Most of the time, it doesn't. The 2 times I actually got a little startled were both random scares that came from nowhere and had nothing to do with a scare button. Most of the time, I think they're way too predictable. They're used way too often, and when you conga line through a haunt, and I understand that you have to do that because of how long the lines are, I get it, but when you do that every 5 seconds, you never allow enough time for the people behind to not know what's coming. So you always see it before you even get there. And then the few times that you don't see it coming because it's timed right, you can still usually figure out where the scare is going to come from. They also suffer this year on the downside from the plexi. I don't think it's plexiglass, I just think it's like a vinyl, a clear vinyl. But it's everywhere. Almost every single actor or scare actor is behind it. There are a few here and there that aren't, which I absolutely love. But everywhere else, absolutely, you see it, you know it's coming. I believe it was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You walk down this hallway of doors. Oh, which one's going to be? Which one's going to open? Oh, the one that's covered in vinyl. That's the one. Yeah, that kind of thing. A lot of the setups are ruined and destroyed because of that. So I try not to take away from it. But if you are coming this year, just be aware of that. Be aware that that vinyl is absolutely going to distract and ruin some of the scares. Some of the time, the lighting and the way that they did things, the vinyl did not detract, because you could barely see it until you got there or until just after, which was perfect. But a lot of the times you can absolutely see it, so you know something's going to happen. The scare zones, I don't know if I'd call them actual scare zones. There's still 2 of them that we still have to do tonight that we have not done yet. And those look to be the best of the 2. The Hacks area and the Wild Grove. Instead of Wild Growth or Wicked Growth, it's called Wicked Grove or something. And those 2 look to be the best. Looks like there's actual scare actors that are out roaming around with you. The rest of them are kind of photo ops. Especially Crypt TV, absolutely kind of photo ops. They're all off to the side in their own little sets. There's nobody walking around interacting with you at all. The 30 Years, 30 Fears is that way. There was, I think, 2 or 3 that were kind of out walking around, but again, they're all there to take pictures, which is fine. It's still something. The Seek and Destroy area, I don't know if it's just because there's not enough out there, if it's not dark enough, but that just didn't work at all. Even with guys running around with chainsaws, it's so open, wide open, and there's just not much there. So to me, that was a big letdown. I was really looking forward to the scare zones, and so far, the ones that we have been through just aren't cutting it. But we're gonna give it another chance tonight. We're gonna see. We did kind of see the water show off from the side. It was okay. We're gonna see if we can actually see it from the front, see if it makes a difference. And also, we're gonna see the other show tonight for sure, because everybody says that show is phenomenal. So we'll definitely catch that one. We're gonna try to catch our favorite haunts again tonight. My favorite by far last night was the HHN Icons. I thought that maze, that haunt was so cool. And maybe it's because I know the background story of all the characters, of all the icons, so walking through, seeing the icons and in their element was just super cool. And everybody, I thought, looked amazing. Everybody who played the parts they were playing looked perfect. Chance, I think we saw her twice, maybe 3 times. The girls playing her were spot on. Same with the director, same with the ushers. They were amazing. Jack's a mask, so it doesn't matter. Storyteller, I believe, was a mask also. But those other ones, I mean, awesome. So that was a highlight, and so was Beetlejuice. Again, not a very scary maze like in the past with the Ghostbusters, but so much fun. Such a fun maze. They have a few good pop-outs, but the sets, the costumes, all the humor that goes with that one is absolutely perfect. We will definitely wait to do that one again tonight, no matter how long the line is. Haunting of Hill House was another really good one that I enjoyed, and then the 2 from last year are still great. So those are my thoughts. The next day, after being at the event for the very first time, it was very crowded last night. We did the Stay and Scream. We did a total of, I believe, four haunts up until 10 o'clock. Maybe it was 5. We did 5 haunts, I think, up until 10 o'clock. And then 3 hours before the park closes, their front of line pass drops to half price. So if they still have any left for the rest of the night, you can get at 10 o'clock when they close at 1 a.m. Tonight they close at 2 a.m., so it'll be 11 o'clock that those go on sale. But you can buy the front of line for half price, and in 3 hours, you gotta hustle, but you can absolutely get every single house done. So we got that pass, and in an hour and a half, we done 5. We done the other 5 haunts within an hour and a half. I'm sorry, we did 4. So we had one more of the Beetlejuice we did at the end of the night. And then I went back through 3 of them again, and I could have done the other 2 also before the end of the night. So you can easily get all 10 of the mazes done in that 3-hour span. So if you're trying to save some money, but you want to make sure you see everything, see what you can, do what you can, and then there's little kiosks all over the park that sell the upgrades. Just upgrade for the half price and then haul butt and get everything done. That's my opinion on that. Instead of paying full price, because you only get to go through everything one time for that price. So there's no point in paying full price to do it all once when you can do it half and do it all once. I don't know why you would. Anyways, just a quick video that I wanted to get up today about last night so you guys can get a quick review. I'm going to have a more detailed description of everything that happened in a different video. We're going to do a ton of filming tonight, so I'm going to put a bunch together. We'll do my top 10 or in order, how I rank them. We'll do scare zones and all of that. So stay tuned for more. Pranksters, as always, make sure that you subscribe down below. Thumbs up button, give it a smash. That's right. And share with your friends, comment below on what you want us to do a second time tonight. We don't want more information on, and we'll make sure that we get that out to you guys. Hey, as always, thanks guys. Scare you later.